A seemingly ordinary night turning into a nightmare no one saw coming. Emma Walker, a vibrant 16-year-old cheerleader, thought she was safe in her own bed after a fun evening with friends. But what started as a typical teen sleepover vibe ended in cold-blooded murder. Her ex-boyfriend, Riley Gaul, was convicted in a way that defies belief. His closest friends turned against him, wearing wires to expose his deadly secrets. This case highlights the dangers of teen dating violence and stalking, leaving the community in shock. Hit subscribe now for more gripping true crime stories that uncover the truth behind the headlines. This conviction was unusual due to peer involvement in the sting operation, a rare betrayal in teen murder cases that ensure justice. It seems likely that early signs of obsession, like possessive texts and stage incidents, escalated to violence, a pattern seen in many teen dating abuse stories. The evidence leans toward premeditation, with stolen weapons and calculated shots, though debates on teen mental health add complexity. Experts note the importance of recognizing red flags in young relationships to prevent tragedies. Emma Jane Walker was a beloved 16-year-old from Knoxville, Tennessee, known for her cheerleading spirit and dreams of becoming an ace. Riley Gaul, her 18-year-old ex, was a college football player whose obsession turned deadly. The murder occurred on November 21, 2016, when Gaul shot Walker through a bedroom window while she slept. Their romance started innocently in high school but soured with control and manipulation. Breakups and makeups led to stalking, highlighting the risks of teen dating violence. Gaul's actions at night were calculated, leading to a shocking discovery. Police uncovered inconsistencies in his story, building suspense until his friends' twist sealed his fate. What really happened? In the quiet suburbs of Knoxville, Tennessee, where high school dreams flourish under Friday night lights, a story unfolded that would haunt the community forever. This is the expanded chronicle of Emma Walker's murder, a tale of love twisted into obsession, a sleepover atmosphere turned deadly, and a conviction that relied on the most unexpected allies. Drawing from court records, witness testimonies, investigative reports, media coverage, psychological analyses, and comparisons to similar cases, we'll dive deep into every chilling detail. We'll explore the backgrounds of Emma and Riley, the build-up of their toxic relationship with extended dialogues and scene reconstructions, the events leading up to the murder broken down by timeline, the fatal night with suspenseful moment-by-moment accounts, the shocking discovery and initial investigation filled with inconsistencies, the jaw-dropping twist involving Riley's friends and the wire operation, the in-depth trial with day-by-day breakdowns and key testimonies, psychological insights into Riley's mindset, comparisons to other teen dating violence cases like those of Skylar Neese and Maya Pina, and the enduring legacy with warnings, expert opinions, and memorials. This narrative aims to honor Emma's memory while shedding light on the shadows of teen dating violence, an issue affecting countless young lives across the United States. Keywords like Emma Walker murder, Riley Gaul conviction, teen dating violence, high school cheerleader killed, and stalking ex-boyfriend are woven throughout for those searching for true crime stories, domestic abuse awareness, and Knoxville crime history. Let's start at the very beginning, where innocence met ambition in the halls of Central High School. Emma Jane Walker was born on March 20, 2000, into a loving family in Knoxville. Her mother, Jill Walker, was an elementary school teacher known for her nurturing spirit, always putting her students first with creative lessons and endless patience. Her father, Mark Walker, worked hard to provide a stable home, often coaching Little League teams on weekends and instilling values of kindness and perseverance in his children. Emma had a younger brother who idolized her, following her around the house with wide-eyed admiration as she practiced cheer routines in the living room. From a young age, Emma exuded compassion. She was a kid who organized bake sales for animal shelters and volunteered at local nursing homes, reading stories to the elderly with a gentle voice that brought smiles to weary faces. At Central High School, starting as a freshman in 2014, she wasn't just any student. She was a cheerleader whose high kicks and infectious energy lit up the sidelines during football games. Her grades were stellar. As an honor student, she balanced academics with extracurriculars like Health Occupation Students of America, HOSA, where she learned about medical careers and dreamed aloud of becoming a neonatal nurse, caring for tiny babies in intensive care units. Friends described her as the glue that held groups together, always ready with a smile, a hug, or a listening ear. She was involved in National Beta Club, promoting academic achievement and community service, and Young Life, a Christian youth organization that emphasized faith, fun, and fellowship through camps and Bible studies. Emma's life was full of promise, weekends filled with sleepovers where girlfriends painted nails, watched rom-coms, and gossip about crushes. She loved animals, particularly dogs, and often spent afternoons at the local shelter walking pups and cleaning kennels. Her bedroom, painted in soft pastels with posters of pop stars and pom-poms hanging from the walls, was a sanctuary of dreams scribbled in glittery journals, notes about college applications, future travels, and hopes for a family of her own someday. Contrasts his vibrant life with that of William Riley Gaul, born in 1998, who grew up in a supportive but fractured environment. After his parents' separation, Riley was raised primarily by his mother and grandparents, who doted on him but noticed his quirky, introspective nature early on. At Central High School, he excelled academically, earning top marks in science and math classes, and on the football field as a wide receiver, catching passes with precision that belied his nerdy demeanor. Teachers remembered him as a class clown, cracking jokes during lectures to lighten the mood, but beneath that humor lurked insecurities, perhaps stemming from his family dynamics or the pressure to perform. Friends saw him as a little on the nerdy side, more interested in video games and sci-fi novels and partying, not the stereotypical jock who dominated social scenes. In 2016, Riley enrolled at Maryville College, a small Division III school, where he continued playing football while pursuing a pre-med track, though reports vary on his exact major. His ambition was clear, driven by a desire to prove himself. But Riley's emotional world was turbulent, especially in relationships. He craved control, a trait that would later manifest in devastating ways. Their paths crossed in the fall of 2014, during a bustling school event, perhaps a pep rally or homecoming dance, where Emma, the wide-eyed 14-year-old freshman, caught Riley's eye. He was 16, a junior already in a relationship, but that didn't stop him from pursuing her aggressively. "I'm breaking up with her for you," he told Emma in hushed whispers between classes, promising to take her to prom as a grand gesture. But when prom night arrived, Riley attended with his current girlfriend, leaving Emma heartbroken and confused, a red flag she overlooked in the flush of young love. Soon after, they officially started dating, and at first it was blissful. Hand-holding in the hallways, shared lunches under the oak trees in the school courtyard, sweet texts buzzing on phones late into the night. Riley seemed attentive, bringing her flowers after cheer practices and cheering loudly at her competitions, his voice cutting through the crowd. Emma's friends envied the couple. They looked picture-perfect, the cheerleader and the football star, straight out of a teen movie. But cracks appeared early, subtle at first, then widening into chasms. By 2015, the relationship had turned toxic. Riley's possessiveness emerged like a shadow. He didn't like Emma hanging out with male friends, even platonic ones from class projects, or spending too much time at cheer practice without texting him updates. Arguments escalated. One night, after the game, he accused her of flirting with a teammate, his voice rising in the parking lot as tears streamed down her face. Breakups became frequent, followed by tearful reconciliations where Riley promised to change, swearing his jealousy stemmed from how much he loved her. Emma's parents noticed the changes. Their once bubbly daughter now seemed anxious, checking her phone constantly, her laughter less frequent. Jill Walker recalled in later interviews how Riley would call incessantly, demanding to know Emma's whereabouts, his tone shifting from sweet to accusatory in seconds. "Where are you? Who are you with?" he'd text, flooding her inbox until she responded. Mark Walker tried to intervene, sitting Emma down for heart-to-heart talks, but she defended Riley, saying it was just passion, that he was going through a tough time with college applications and family issues. Friends whispered about his controlling behavior, monitoring her social media, criticizing her outfits if they were too revealing, isolating her from group hangouts. One incident stood out vividly. During a school dance in the gym, decorated with streamers and pulsing lights, Riley accused Emma of dancing too closely with a friend, storming out and leaving her in tears amid the crowd. Yet, they patched things up the next day, as teens often do, ignoring the warning signs that experts later identified as classic markers of emotional abuse. Fast forward to October 2016, the tension reaching a boiling point. Emma's parents had had enough. They grounded her, confiscating her phone at night and banning any contact with Riley. "This is not healthy," Jill told her daughter sternly. According to court testimonies, her voice laced with worry as they sat at the kitchen table. Emma nodded, tears welling, agreeing it was time to end it for good. In early November, she broke up with him definitively, blocking his number and focusing on school and friends. But Riley wouldn't accept it. He bombarded her with texts from burner apps, alternating between desperate pleas, "I can't live without you, please come back," and veiled threats, "If I can't have you, no one can." Reports from friends' testimonies reveal he even threatened suicide multiple times, a manipulation tactic psychologists label as coercive control, designed to guilt the victim into staying. Then came the stalking, an escalation that turned bizarre and terrifying. Riley began showing up uninvited at Emma's cheer events, lurking in the bleachers with a hoodie pulled low, his eyes fixed on her. On November 18th, 2016, things took a darker turn. Emma received an anonymous text, "Go to your car. Your boyfriend is there, unconscious." Heart pounding, she rushed outside with friends, only to find Riley lying on the ground, pretending to be kidnapped and beaten, bruises faked with makeup. It was a ploy to win sympathy, to position himself as a victim in need of her care, but Emma saw through it, her anger boiling over. "You're messing with my head," she texted him furiously, her fingers flying across the screen in the dim light of her room. 2 nights later, on November 19th, a figure in black banged on her front door, whispering threats to lure her out, a stranger who vanished into the shadows when lights flicked on. Emma confided in friends via Snapchat, her messages frantic, "I'm scared he might kill me." The tension was palpable. Sleepovers with girlfriends became her refuge, where they'd huddle under blankets, whispering about the creepy events, trying to laugh it off but feeling the chill of fear. Unbeknownst to Emma, Riley had already crossed into deadly territory. On November 18th, the same day as the fake kidnapping, he stole a 9mm Glock from his grandfather's truck, slipping it out from under the seat while the elderly man was distracted. His grandfather, James Walker, no relation to Emma, noticed a missing gun later that evening and immediately feared Riley might harm himself, calling family members in panic. Riley, meanwhile, phoned a friend casually, asking, "How do you remove fingerprints from a firearm?" A chilling query captured in phone records and later played in court, sending shivers through the jury. That weekend, Emma attended a house party, perhaps what could be called a sleepover vibe, with friends laughing over pizza, sharing stories of school drama, and dancing to top hits, feeling a brief respite from the chaos. She returned home late, texted goodnights to her squad, and slipped into bed, her head sinking into the pillow, dreaming of a future free from the weight of Riley's obsession. The clock ticked past midnight on November 21st, 2016. Riley, consumed by rage over the breakup, parked his car a block away from Emma's Sturkey Hills home, the engine humming softly in the dark. He crept through the shadows, leaves crunching underfoot, heart pounding with a mix of adrenaline and fury. Gun in hand, he positioned himself outside her bedroom window, the curtains drawn but a faint glow from a nightlight seeping through. He aimed carefully, steadying his breath. 2 shots rang out in the still night. Bang! Bang! One piercing the wall and striking Emma behind her left ear, killing her instantly as she lay sleeping. The other embedded in her pillow, inches from where her head had been moments before. Blood soaked the sheets, but the house remained silent. Riley fled back to his Maryville college dorm, arriving around 4:45 a.m., as his roommate later testified under oath. He slipped into bed, acting normal the next day. But the deed was done, a life extinguished in a fit of possessive wrath. Morning broke with unimaginable horror. At 6 a.m., Jill Walker entered Emma's room to wake her for school, the aroma of coffee wafting from the kitchen. "Emma? Honey, time to get up," she called softly, flipping on the light. Emma lay still, unnaturally so, blood pooling on the pillow. Jill's hand shook her shoulder, then recoiled. "Emma!" she screamed, her voice echoing through the house. Frantic, she checked for a pulse. Nothing. Dialing 911, she sobbed into the phone. "My daughter, she's not breathing. Oh God, I think she's dead. Please hurry." The operator guided her through CPR, compressions on the chest, breaths into cold lips, but it was futile. Paramedics arrived minutes later, sirens blaring, confirming the worst. Emma was gone. Initially, It looked like a tragic accident or even suicide until detectives spotted the bullet holes in the wall, one at head level, the other at shoulder height. Outside, in the dew-kissed grass, two 9mm shell casings gleamed under the morning sun. Ballistics would later link them definitively to a Glock pistol. The Knox County Sheriff's Office launched a full investigation, cordoning off the home as a crime scene. Lead Detective Alan Merritt interviewed family and friends, notebooks filling with notes. Emma's parent pointed fingers at Riley almost immediately, the toxic ex who wouldn't let go. He was obsessed. He wouldn't leave her alone, Mark said gravely, his face etched with grief. Friends shared screenshots of texts about the fake kidnapping and the man in black, their voices trembling as they recounted Emma's fears. Riley was brought in for questioning that afternoon, sitting in a stark interrogation room under fluorescent lights. He denied everything, tears welling as he claimed, "I loved Emma. I'd never hurt her. I was devastated when I heard." But inconsistencies piled up like storm clouds. His alibi? He was in his dorm all night, but his roommate contradicted that, recalling Riley's absence. Phone records showed suspicious calls to friends about the gun. Gaul's grandfather confirmed the theft, his voice breaking on the stand later. Then, the shocking tone. Riley's closest friends, Alex McCarty and Noah Walton, grew deeply suspicious. "He told us things that didn't add up," McCarty testified, describing how Riley showed him the stolen gun days before, claiming it was a protection. Fearing their friend was guilty, they approached police voluntarily, agreeing to a high-stakes sting operation, a major twist that flipped the entire case. In a scene straight out of a thriller movie, Walton invited Riley over for video games at his house, the air thick with unspoken tension. Hidden microphones were wired to their clothes, an MIC in McCarty's jacket cuff, a transmitter for real-time monitoring by detectives parked nearby. A hidden camera in a key fob captured every moment. As they played, Riley opened up, admitting he stole the gun to scare her, but slips revealed more. "I didn't mean to kill her, or did I?" he muttered, his eyes darting. He suggested dumping the evidence at the Tennessee River Bluffs, a wooded area known for its seclusion. They piled into the car, Riley directing them to his stepfather's house first, where he retrieved a black trash bag from the basement. Inside, the Glock, black clothing, gloves, tape, the full man in black outfit used in the stalking. "Oh my God, that's a real gun," McCarty exclaimed on tape, the code word signaling police to move in. Undercover officers swooped, arresting Riley on the spot amid flashing lights and shouts. The trial in April 2018 was a media frenzy, Knox County Criminal Court packed with reporters, family, and curious onlookers. Day 1. Opening statements set the stage. Prosecutors Kevin Allen and Molly Martin painted Riley as a calculated killer, obsessed and vengeful after the breakup. "He couldn't let go, so he took her life," Allen declared. Defense attorney Wesley Stone countered, claiming it was a misguided attempt to heroically rescue her from stage threats, not premeditated murder. Day 2, Emma's family testified, Jill recounting the 911 call in a voice choked with emotion, the audio played in court, bringing jurors to tears. Neighbors described hearing shots around midnight. Day 3, friends detailed the stalking, reading texts aloud. "I'm scared he might kill me." Gaul's grandfather confirmed the gun theft. Day 4. Forensic experts analyzed the scene, bullet trajectory showing precise aim for the head. Day 5. The sting tapes were played, Riley's voice damning him with admissions. Day 6. Psychological experts weighed in, discussing Riley's possible narcissistic traits and coercive control patterns. Closing arguments hammered home the evidence. After 4 hours of deliberation on May 8th, the jury convicted on all counts, including first-degree murder. Sentence: life in prison, parole after 51 years. Appeals followed, claiming ineffective counsel, but were denied in 2023, upholding the verdict. Psychologically, Riley's actions aligned with patterns of intimate partner violence. Experts like those from a national domestic violence hotline analyzed such cases as escalating from control to lethality, possessiveness masking deep insecurity, often rooted in abandonment phase. In Riley's case, his family background may have fueled attachment issues, leading to manipulation tactics like suicide threats. Comparisons to similar cases abound. Skylar Neese, murdered by friends in 2012 after the fallout, shows teen betrayals, Maya Pina, another victim of dating violence, highlights patterns of stalking. The Slender Man stabbing in 2014 underscores youth impulsivity, while the Michelle Carter texting suicide case reveals manipulation's dark side. Emma's legacy endures through memorials. The Emma Walker Memorial Scholarship for cheerleaders and hostess students, a dog park in her name, a dedicated room at East Tennessee Children's Hospital. Warnings abound. Watch for isolation. Threats. Seek help at a hotline.org or loveisrespect.org. This case, with its twists and betrayals, reminds us evil hides in familiar faces. What if one intervention had saved her? For more edge-of-your-seat true crime, subscribe now. Don't miss the next chilling reveal.